Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to this video. Welcome to another day of life. You and I are lucky. We have been graced with another breath, another day, another chance to choose how we want to live, you know. Hi Terry, hi everyone, good morning or good evening. So it's 10 a.m. for me here in Bali. It is another beautiful day. It's been raining a lot, so it's nice to see that it's sunny today. And look at these beautiful flowers. I got some pretty flowers here too. I reset my flowers. Hi Kathy, hi Allison, hi honey, hi guys. Hey Terry, yeah, caught me live. I am live. I'm gonna be live for about 15 minutes in this video because I'm going off to a movement practice this morning. But yeah, I actually wanted to share something, a few things, how I call this video my plans change. I've had a change of plans. It's not about Bali. I'm still here for about another month, less than a month. I think I'm here about another 3 weeks. I'm here in this apartment for another 2 weeks, and then I'm gonna go to the beach. I'm gonna go to Uluwatu for a couple of reasons. One, it's the beach. Two, that's where my friend Gigi actually is located. She just comes here to, maybe you met her last night in the video I made. I'm doing a really cool 3-month mentorship program with her that's all about activating my voice. It's activating my womb, which is sort of like my creative energy source. It's connected to my heart. It's a beautiful process that I'm in with her. Sometimes challenging, which I talked about in my video last night. But it's amazing. Hi Alice, I'm happy you're here too. Yeah, you know, I've since being here in Bali, I've missed a lot of you guys that I normally get to share the live space with when I'm on that side of the world. So 2 more weeks here. So I miss you and I love you, and I'm always happy when we get to share some live time. So 2 weeks here, then I'm gonna go to the beach because it's the beach, because Gigi is based there. She just comes here once a week for some singing activation circles, which I'm going to later today. Sorry about the chainsaw. Progress. Sometimes progress is messy. Sometimes progress looks and sounds bad, as evidenced by a chainsaw. Oh, hi Brinley. Hi, good morning, honey. Can I turn up my volume? So Danielle, I know it's an issue. It's actually, I don't think it's on my side. This is actually one of the reasons that I decided to stop off in New Jersey on my way home, because I found out that I can actually return this phone. It's a refurbished phone that I got through Amazon, and I have a 1-year window to return it, and I realized that only recently. So I'm making a trip. So in 3 weeks, 2 weeks here, 1 week at the beach, a little more than a week, and then I'm going to fly back to the US. I'm going to in New Jersey to change my phone, to see my sister and my niece. And also we're going to do a meet and greet on October 9th, Sunday, October 9th. So those plans haven't changed. Well, here's what changed. And I actually just wanted to use this kind of as a talking point. So originally I had plans today to go visit an elder American woman named Diane, who lives here in Bali, who I met last time. She's been living here for 20 years. She originally trained at Juilliard in New York City. She's a dancer. And last time I was here in Bali, I met her when I was living in that village. And we started doing these movement practices. So we started doing these movement practices, and it's not like a dance. It's an exploration of movement and like connecting to my body in a whole new way. That's not about like looking good or, you know, dancing to a beat or any of these things. Oh, hi Trisha, hi honey. Matthew, visit mom and dad while I'm in New Jersey. Can't do it. They don't live in New Jersey. My dad's in Italy and my mom's in Baltimore. She might be in Poland. I'm not sure where she is right now. So anyway, so I started doing these movement classes with this really just wise elder dancer woman from America who's been living here for 20 years. And this is where, maybe you guys have heard me talk about this. I don't talk about this very much, but so I did these series of movement classes. It's a little hot right now. I did these series. I know I've been having some skin stuff since being here because weather and all the things. Don't worry about it. So 3 years ago, I started doing these movement. They're not really classes. They're more like explorations. Oh, hi Troy. Hi Hannah. Oh, good. I'm happy to hear your mom's recovering. Hi Carol. Carol, I got the purple dress. I'll tell you later. So anyways, so 3 years ago, I met this elder woman who was just just fascinating, and I could feel she had something for me. And this was a time 3 years ago. I was just coming from Thailand, and for the first time, I was putting down the drugs and the drink. Now, when I was in Thailand, I smoked a lot of weed. There were a lot of party drugs. There were a lot of parties, and I was doing fire spinning, and I was also going to these parties, and there were party drugs like acid. That when I was on these drugs, I could dance and I could express myself, and I was very open. You know how sometimes like when you drink, you're open and you can give people a piece of your mind, like, right? You're more open, right? And so part of my journey with getting sober around that time was I was really sort of like lamenting of like, oh no, if I put down this stuff, can I still be open? Can I still dance? Can I still express myself in my natural state? Because I had come to rely on a substance to like get me there, you know, to get me into this beautiful, expressive dancing place where I, you know, felt beautiful and expressed and aligned, right? And there was a lot of time, you know, going back when I was an art student in New York City, I thought I needed weed in order to be creative. Like, I thought I needed these things in order to express myself beautifully and open and, right, and to get into that state, right? And so when I was getting sober the first time 3 years ago, I was, in a way, grieving, because I was grieving letting go of this thing that helped me get to a place that I thought, that I enjoyed, that was good for me, that I thought, I mean, good for me, not so good for me the next day, right? And good for me in that moment, but not so good for me the next day, right? Or the following days and weeks, you know. But in that moment, it was very open and expressive. So I was on this quest when I came to Bali, first to get sober, first to change the way I was doing things, to change the way I was relating to myself, to my expression, my abilities, to substances, to other people, because there was also like, I felt like I needed the substances to be able to bond with others. I mean, if you smoke a joint with people, you have instant connection, right? Like, so that's how I was able to be social with people. I would drink with them, I would smoke with them. Like, I know a lot of you know what I'm talking about, right? Smoking buddies. I had a lot of smoking buddies, let's just say. So I was heavily relying on substances at this time to express myself and to get into a certain state where I felt free, right? To move, to even to sing at times. And so when I came here 3 years ago, I was lamenting that, I was grieving that, and I was looking for a new way. And so in my prayers, you know how life is our teacher and life will give us what we need? So life presented to me this woman named Diane. Yeah, Angela, you remember that, right? So life is our greatest teacher, and life shows us what we need. It's just up to us. Will we accept the breadcrumbs? Will we follow? Will we look at the dark mirror? Will we see how this person who's triggering us is actually teaching us something about ourselves that we need to look at, right? So life presented me this woman named Diane, this elder woman, just sage, wise, very experienced woman who's been living here for 20 years, and I started doing these movement classes with her. And it wasn't so much a class because she wasn't teaching me what to do, right? She wasn't teaching me like moves to make, but she was expanding my mind to start thinking in different ways about movement, about expansion, about contraction, about highs, about lows, about feeling, really, and like letting go of certain mental constructs that I had that were defining how I was doing things in the past, right? So she was, in a really beautiful way, helping me deconstruct something that was how I defined myself, but at the same time, limiting myself, right? So, yeah, Terry, I'm sorry you can't hear me. I don't know. I'm gonna change. I know, April, weed makes you introverted, not connect with others. I know, April, I had the exact same thing. It was ironic that I thought I needed to connect with others, but then it made me feel so awkward and like I can't speak, and I just felt weird, and I know. So anyways, so some people can hear me loud, some people can't. I don't know. So anyways, so I was on this exploration of how do I get to that state of expression without drugs, without substances, without something outside of myself to do it for me, right? How do I access this state naturally, right? So I started these movement experiments, explorations with this woman, Diane. And here's what's interesting that happened. After a few sessions, at the end of the session, I started feeling really weird, like, oh God, something's coming, Diane, I need to get to nature. Where can I go? Tell me, please. I need to go someplace where there's no other people. I need, like there was something coming forth, and I needed to be alone. I needed like a safe place in nature where I was alone to, like, I didn't even know what was happening. All I could feel was that this thing, something was happening. It was really weird, Diane. Right? So I imagine like when an animal is about to go give birth, they go find a place, right? They go find a safe, quiet, contained place where they can be alone to, like, give birth, right? So that's kind of what it felt like for me. I was like, oh God, where can I go, Diane? Where can I go? I need to get away from. So she told me about this temple, Yepulu. I made a video about it with my friend Deva previously. So I went to this temple. I'd never been there before, and I went down to these like ancient steps with these ancient carvings, and like, okay, weird, I feel weird, right? Something's coming. Right, so I got to the end of the temple, and I took off my shoes, and I just started walking into the jungle. Now, I am afraid of snakes. I just want to make that very clear. I am afraid of snakes. I'm afraid of snakes where I can't see them. I'm not afraid of a snake I can see. I'm afraid of snakes I can't see. And then there I was, walking barefoot into the jungle where there was no path. It was just like bush covered, just like, oh man, I remember how scared I was of, like, I don't know what's under all of these plants. I don't know what's under all these, like, jungles and fuck. But I knew I had to go. I knew I had to push through. And so I, like, pushed through this jungle path, barefoot, totally afraid of snakes, totally afraid of all the things that could bite me from the darkness where I couldn't see it. But I proceeded forward, and I climbed up this ridge, right? I climbed up this ridge to this open rice field. And I was okay, no people around me. I felt like I had this barrier of jungle, and like, okay, what is going on? Like, what is this thing? What is this feeling coming out of me? And I remember I fell to my knees, and I just started speaking. I started where no one else could hear me. I started letting out these sounds. It wasn't singing. It was kind of speaking, but it wasn't English. It was just this, like, gibberish was coming. It was like something had broken open, and it was like I was giving birth to something through my voice. And I just started, like, it was just pure emotion. It was raw vibration. I let go of my need to understand what was happening. I let go of like what I could understand. Like, okay, I don't need to understand what this is. I just need to get this thing out. I need to get this feeling out, this vibration out. It needs to come out of me, right? It's like giving birth. I need to get this shit out. And so I just started essentially speaking in tongues. I started speaking in tongues. I remember just like raising my fist to the sky, just expressing all these things, pounding my fists on the earth, and just like all of this stuff. I was also going through my early recovery at this time, so it was like all of this stuff that normally I'd held down with weed, I'd held down with drugs, I'd held down with weed, I'd held all this stuff down. It was coming out. So I was very confused. I let it all out. I let this expression out. I let myself do it. No one was watching. No one was going to judge me. I just let it happen. And then afterwards, I went back to the temple, and I just sat there, and I was kind of like a crinkly mess, and I couldn't speak. In fact, I made a video. There's a video on Facebook of me at this temple after this thing happened, and I look messy, and I don't say anything, and I just kind of quietly point at the temple and show you things. Maybe I can find that video. But then after that, I was like, okay, well, what the I don't know what just happened. That was weird. Jeez, that was weird. So later that week, I was with my sponsor. Did I lose my mind, Carlette? Or I was letting things, oh, okay. I was letting myself get to a very open state, without censorship, without like the mental constructs that normally define how we express ourselves, right? There was like something was definitely breaking down. It was a deconstruction. And that's something I'm learning that's really important on this journey of transformation, is we have to go through these periods of deconstructing our identity, deconstructing our beliefs, really going into these states of like questioning what's real, like why do I believe what I believe? Like, I had one of those yesterday. I'm not going to talk about that now. So I went into this like moment of like deconstruction. Hi Julie, yeah, Julie, show us. Okay. I'll see if I can find it. I can find it. So I went through this period of deconstruction. I'm like, okay, that was really weird. And then later, I was also really confused. Like, what just happened to me? Like, what was that? That was not something that like I intended or knew what happened or any of these things. And so then later, within a few days, I was with my sponsor, my 12-step sponsor. We were at that spa. I showed you that spa, like possibly the greatest spa in the world with all the cool statues. And we were in the hot tub, and I looked at her and I said, her name. Something really weird happened to me. I feel weird explaining this to you because it sounds really weird and really bad. And I was like, I started speaking a really like nonsensical, weird language that was like gibberish, or like I started speaking, and then I just essentially explained to her to the best of my ability like what happened and like this thing that came out, and she looked at me and she said, "Oh, sounds like you started speaking light language." I'm like, "Light language? What is that?" She said, "Well, light language is a kind of vibration. Each person can do it. Each person has their own unique vibration that comes forward, but it's kind of like a vibratory expression." Now I understand. She didn't say this, but now I'm coming to understand. It's like a vibratory expression of like your soul, or like your soul's vibration, like your soul's language, right? And I'm like, oh. She's like, yeah, it's like it sounds like gibberish, but go look it up, like go. And I went on this. I know, Aline. How is this linked to the woman who taught you dance? So I went and I looked it up, and it turns out light language is this like whole thing. You can call it gibberish, you can call it speaking in tongues, but it's this like expression that is so unique to you. It's your own unique expression, and it's a vibratory language. Language is it a language? Because it's not like this means this, right? It's like, I'll give you an example in a second. But how does this relate to the woman? Hi Craig, it's good to see you again. So how does this relate to the woman? So this relates to the woman because we were doing a movement practice, and this is something that I'm learning with the stuff that I'm doing with Gigi, which is a lot of sound healing. In this process that I'm in now, there's a holy trifecta. Hi Sandy, thank you for the stars. Between movement, sound, and breath. Movement, sound, and breath, right? So I was tapping into some really organic, really like unprecedented movement of like really tuning into my body, like opening through this movement with the woman. And that led me into this expression, like cracking open of this sound. And now how that relates to my journey now is so much of what I'm doing now is related to the pranayama course that I did in Guatemala before I left. That was this breath opening when you're working with life force energy. So our life force energy and on the path of transformation, the more we can harness movement, sound, and breath, that's when we really get to the good stuff. That's what I'm coming to understand, right? Mandy, you used to do that when you were a kid. So Mandy, so this is like a thing that everyone can do, but here's what happens. You do it as a kid, and the adults go, "What are you saying? That doesn't make any sense. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Like, that's not the right." So we get programmed, right? So the mental layers of programming come in to squash our natural innate vibration. So I know some of you do this now, but you don't talk about it. I know some of you do this now when you're alone, but you don't know how to express it to others, and so you hide it from others. Everyone has this ability. It requires a certain process and opening. So it's funny because like I can't really tell you about the in depth what I'm experiencing with Gigi, but I could probably tell you in light language. Yeah, April, so this happened to me one time when I was younger, very similar to what you talk about. Exactly, so this is something that happens to people. We don't talk about it because it doesn't make sense, it looks bad, We can't understand it, and our Western minds really want to understand things. And so when you do this, I've done this before, and people go, I don't understand what you're saying. Like, they don't like it because they can't understand it. People tend, and I've seen this in myself, I've struggled. If I don't understand something, I'm much more likely to reject it, which is why it's really hard for people to receive these vibrations. So, I might as well show you, and then I have to go, because I'm going off to actually a movement. So, how this relates to the change of plans, I was supposed to go meet Diane this morning. I was really excited about it, but we had a change of plans, and so instead I've stayed home and I've been doing my practice. But I'm excited to go see Diane, possibly, hopefully, next week, just to continue the movement practice with her, because it's been so powerful for me. But now I'm actually going off to a movement practice with Gigi, because it's an important part of the process. This is what I understand. Some kind of movement practice is important. Can we say it's this? Can we say it's that? I know for me, yoga is really beneficial. And I mentioned I was going through a bit of a deconstruction yesterday. Oh, Julie, you're welcome. And let me see. Wallace, I do see your comments. Hi, honey. Wallace, it's tough when I'm like in a flow and I'm really talking. I try to like stay connected to you here, which I can't do both. Yeah, so I see a lot of you guys saying that. Okay, so Becca's saying, or Lorraine said you and your brother had your own language. Becca says same. So you also notice when I'm with my dogs, I don't speak in English to the dogs. Maybe you've noticed this, because I don't think it makes any sense to speak English to the dogs because they don't understand English, but they do understand vibration. They do understand, right? Also, when I herded goats, you can't speak English to goats. They'll walk all over you. They won't respect you. But you have to like use certain vibrations to get their attention. A lot of it is about attention and also like moving and influencing them, right? You can't move and influence goats with just, hey, stop, come here. No, you have to like really introduce some power and strength and vibration in order to influence and command them. And they don't respect you if you don't have a strong vibration, if you don't come at them with a strong vibration. Goats taught me a lot. Dogs taught me a lot. So I like using this, especially with animals. So that's a good way to start. Like if you want to try what I'm talking about, I recommend first being alone. I recommend being in nature. Like get away from anyone who's going to judge you. And then also your mind is going to judge you, just be okay with that. Oh, Alicia, the ones who started working out started crying, not understanding why. Exactly. That's a kind of opening. Oh, I gotta get going. It's a kind of opening, and in this process of really, because what's the point, right? What's the point? It's not just to make funny sounds. The point for me is this is an extension of that question that I started asking myself 3 years ago. How do I get to my open expression in my most natural state? And what does open expression mean? Open expression means I can speak my truth. I can face conflict. I can face the challenge without shying away. I can stand up and I can say, no, that's not okay, right? It's not just about making funny sounds. It's about standing in your power. It's about standing and saying the thing that's really uncomfortable because it'd be easier to run and hide from it. It'd be easier to suppress it and tamp it down, right? So, Lynn, Bali appears to be very good for you. Life is about connecting. This is your connection. Yeah, so it's about connection, ultimately, Lynn. This is about connecting to our truth. This is about connecting to our soul. This is about liberating our soul from the prison that we have been placed in because of conditioning, programming, all the ways that we have been trained to be small and quiet and just shut up and do your work and don't feel anything because I don't like it, right? Right? So this is about freedom. This is about like an opening of our expression. So if you want to try, what I recommend, going into nature. Yeah, Jenny, this is about connecting to our higher self, which is beyond the English language. So if you want to try it, I recommend going into nature and then just, start making sounds. Huraka asas ash. Braka ana ash as. Tu menehej ka. Like what comes up? Don't think about it. This is beyond thinking, right? Have I done it since the day? Yeah, Brindley, this is like a big part of my life. It's not something I put online so much, back then I started putting it online because it was new and, you know, exciting, but now it's something more quietly I keep for myself, and I share it with people who know and who understand, because not everyone's going to like it, right? Nice, Nicole, you've always used guttural sounds when communicating with animals. Right, so you know there's a primitive part of us, there is a deep instinctual part of us that knows that vibration is a powerful way to interact with other beings, with nature, with animals, right? With children, with babies. Like when my niece was a baby, I would use it, when she couldn't speak English, I would use the guttural, these sounds to like communicate with her. And I remember her dad said, stop talking to her like that because I don't want her to grow up speaking gibberish. So it was blocked, right? It was blocked. If someone wants to make mad faces, it's okay. All feelings are welcome here. We give people to feel what they feel. That's part of what we do. So, let me give you an example. Mahesh kana saisi, bruka wehejas, manakashina ka alash, brahe kalua manahin, bruka si ash, mahe kushur nahe, ruka we eiria, amrahanahash, isa manakash bras, shuna ebraka, manakashana kasipash in a wekas, brash anasikash, ina hika, brahiaka, urok manahashikas bras, isna weaya nahuf, washanakas, brasish, nahina, heyakash, wash, ni, makas, we, kush, anahi, bras, inakun, mai, aka we, ash, nahikana, ush, asash, bas, Bri hash, anaka aisha ash, us ai ama harakas ash, pus anakashi as ashikawe ash manahi kuluya barakasana ush, alakahairas, yanakurakas inahikas, iash, rakas, ipash, unawe, ush, sash. Hasharakasuya shanaka arakas ya. So, exactly, Tracy. Those are meant to understand you, and it's not about understanding what does that mean. Like every time I do it, it's different. It's different depending on where I am, who I'm talking to, what's alive in me. There are times it's come out really like angry sounding and really like forceful and like raw and passionate. This one, like now, is a lot about. I mean, I can kind of inside, I can feel what's being transmitted. This was a lot of gentleness and softness and talking and expressing that it's okay if you don't understand, like go with your feelings sort of thing. Miro, do I know what I'm saying or just making sounds? Like, so it's like, okay, like I know that in this moment I knew there was something I wanted to transmit of like a softness and a sweetness and a gentleness with the process, and it's okay to not understand, and you know, just try it, honey, and like see how it feels and like trust your feelings sort of thing with this very like soft feeling. So sometimes there is an understanding and I can kind of interpret it based on like what I feel. Do I know word for like sound for sound? No, I don't. There's no correspondence between a certain sound and a word like we have in English, right? So so there you go. Try it. ¿Cómo estás? Todo bien, gracias. Nice, Jimmy. Yeah, so, you know, bye. So, you know, I think something for where I'm at right now, all the stuff I've been going through in Bali, it's like, you know, going through these transitions, going through changes, and a lot of times my mind wants to understand, and a lot of my practice has been like, it's okay, I don't need to understand. I don't need to understand. I don't understand. I don't need to understand. And that's okay, which is completely different from the way the West teaches us. It's like, I must understand the logic of this thing in order for it to compute for me to want to do this and move forward like this. It's like, just let it go. Just let go. Let go. Over and over. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Yes. Yeah, exactly. So when you talk from the heart and not from the mind, that's exactly what it is. So it's a vibration that comes from the soul and from the heart, not from the mind, right? And so it's challenging. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, honey. Hi, Chicky Wicks. I love you. Right? So I feel like a lot of what I'm doing in the process that I'm in right now with sobriety, with recovery, it's really allowing, ultimately what I'm doing is I'm creating clean and clear channel for the voice of my soul to come through, for my truest and clearest expression to be made manifest. Without the use of drugs, without the use of weed, without the use of alcohol. Like, yeah, you don't have to understand it to feel it, yeah? Oh, hi, Becky. Hi, honey. Yeah, so Becky is, exactly, Lucy King, soul speak vibration. Call it light language, call it gibberish, call it speaking in tongues. You can call it soul speak vibration. You've got it because you have a soul. It's as simple as that. You also may have challenges because you also have a mind that says, no, it shouldn't be this way. Make sense. I'm sorry, Daddy, I'm sorry, Mommy, I'm sorry. Right? Like, journey. It's the journey. So, so I didn't get to go see Diane, but I'll see her next week. But I am going to go do another movement practice. And I'm in a classroom of life, and I'm exactly where I'm meant to be, just like you are. Being presented with the lessons and the teachers exactly that are meant for me at this moment, just as you are. Yeah, Brindley. Yeah. And I trust what's in my heart above all. I trust what's in my heart. I trust where my heart has led me. I trust the force that has brought me here. I trust the force that has brought me this far. And I trust the force that is bringing me further. So, I meant to do this video much shorter, but it's gone on. Mind, well, Trisha, we need the mind. But the mind is a wonderful servant. Which is also why, yeah, we need the mind to figure out, okay, what time do I need to leave for the airport? What do I need to buy at the store in order to cook dinner tonight, in order to feed my family? How do I get to the store, right? We need the mind, right? We need the mind for certain things, right? It's just, in the West, we're taught to glorify the mind and only give energy to the mind, and we're not so much taught to be present with the deeper wisdom that is rising like a well. There's a wellspring within us, and our culture puts bricks and blocks on top of it so it can't come up. So a lot of this process, and I think a lot of like recovery also, is like learning to pull away the crutches, pull away the things that blocked us, right? So we can let that essence of our soul come forward. And why? So we can be of service. So we can tap into our natural gifts and abilities, that great spirit, universe, infinite intelligence, source of life, source of creation, that source, that force that governs coincidences and synchronicities and puts you exactly where you need. Grace, like that force of grace that works through us and with us and on us, and so we can work with grace, right? Because if I'm hungover, if I'm drunk, if I'm high, right, if I'm distracted, then I'm not going to be as available. I'm not going to be that hollow reed. I'm not as available to divinity, right, to flow through me and use me, right? Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there's hatred, let me sow love. Where there's injury, pardon. Where there's doubt, faith. Where there's despair, hope. Where there's sadness, joy. Where there's darkness, light. O divine master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, and it is in pardoning that we are pardoned. And it is in dying, and it is in deconstructing that we are born to that eternal thing, that truthful thing, right? So I think it's all part of that. It's all part of becoming, oh, thanks, Penelope. It's all part of that, becoming an instrument and a channel, and really being connected to, like, why are we really here? What's the truth behind our existence? What is the purpose? What is the usefulness of us? Like, how can we serve God? How can we serve mankind? How can we serve our fellows, right? It's all about removing the blockages. Hey, Ganesha, it's all about removing the obstacles and then letting the natural thing that wants to come forth for whatever purpose it's meant to have. And to be in service to that, to be in service. So, yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for being with me. I love you all very much. If you like this video, I keep forgetting to say this. If you like this video, if you think someone else would benefit from it, please share it. It means a lot to me. It helps me grow in a really natural, organic way. Just one person to the next, sharing what resonates for them. Yeah, you can share it directly with someone. You can just click the share button. You can say nothing, or you can say, I like this video because. I like this chick because, right? So, I love you so much, Tiffany. I love you so much, honey. No, Kirsty, I've been having, yeah, this is related to just heat and Bali, and yeah, it's not bites. This is part of my balancing act with heat. And yeah, so if you like this video, if you think someone else will benefit from it, please share it. It would mean a lot to me. Thank you so much for listening. Those who have the eyes to see will see. Those who have the ears, they will listen. And everyone else, it's cool. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's cool. All right, guys. I love you all, and I'm off to my Jenny. I love you too. I love you too. How's your plant thing going? Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Thanks, Lindy. I love you guys so much. May the forest be with you. May you trust what comes up. May you trust the feelings you have from within, and may you have the courage to express them, even if other people don't understand or if they judge you. Even if you don't understand and if you judge you, may you still have the courage to allow the wellspring of your soul to rise and to give life. Because that's what it is. You are a source of water and life. And when you let it out, you give life. You are part of life. You nurture and nourish others. So, hi Roger. Hi honey. I love you too, Kirsty. Kirsty, try it with your animals. Try it with your animals. It's so great to use these vibrations with animals because you can deepen your connection and your relationship with them. And wow, let me just tell you, from my experience, the connection I've had with Stella, the connection I've had with other dogs. And in fact, you know how I have such a strong connection with dogs? And they gravitate towards me and I work with them a lot. I think it also is because I connect with them on a really just basic vibrational level that transcends language. Just try it. Play with it. See if it works. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. If it does, wow, what a new door this could open for you. So, all right. Thank you guys so much for sharing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for everything. CL, if you just arrived, don't worry about it. Go back and watch the video. I think it was a good one. And if you like it, please share it. Thank you. It means a lot to me. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you so much. Wherever you are, whoever you are. I love you. Have an amazing evening. Have an amazing dot. Exactly. Let go and let God. Let go. Let go. Let go. Let God.